Back to my channel. Now I'll talk about the VLOOKUP function. This is the most used function in Excel. But before I proceed, please like this video and subscribe to my channel for me to share more content on this. Right. So what is a VLOOKUP function? VLOOKUP function or vertical lookup function. Okay. VLOOKUP function is a function used to search for a value in the first column of a table. So if you have a table like this one, what VLOOKUP does, it will search for a value in a column like this or a column like this, and then let's say the value is 103. This is 103. So it has searched the value in the column and return a corresponding value for from another column in the same row. For instance, if you are looking for the salary for code number 103, so what VLOOKUP will do, it will search for the value 103 in this column. So the value is this one, and in the same row it will search where you want to get your value, like salaries. It will search for the corresponding value from another column in the same row. Okay, so what is the syntax or the formula for the VLOOKUP? Okay, so the VLOOKUP will start like this: equals VLOOKUP. Okay, so you start first with the lookup value. So the lookup value is the value you want to search. For instance, we only have 103, that's the ID. So this is the lookup value. So you search for this value in the first column, and then I'll select this one, comma, and then the table array. The table array is the table where you find your value. So here they're saying the table array, the range of cells that contains the data. The first column must include the lookup value. So it's the whole table where we have we have our data there, right? So I'll use absolute reference. So I'll just make them absolute. Okay, so let's make them absolute. Let's make absolute. All right, so that's our table array number. Then we go to the column index. The column index is the column in a table array from which to return the value. So you first start with the lookup value. So the lookup value is this one, the one we want to search in the column, okay, in the first column. And then the table array, so it's the whole table, okay. And then you make it absolute because sometimes you may need to copy it downwards, or you may need to move the formula, right? And then we're looking at the column index. So the column index is the column in which you want to find your value, or you want to find your answer. For instance, if you want to find in our case, we want to find the salary for ID 103. Okay, so the column index is this column here, the salary column. So how do we find the column index? What you do is you start from where your lookup value is. So you start counting from the beginning of your table. Okay, so this is column number 1, column number 2, and column number 3. So the column index number will be what? Will be 3. Okay, and then comma. So you find that there's this other option where they say approximate match or false exact match. You just do what? Tab, or you can leave it like that, and you close brackets, you say enter. Okay, you see we have what it has given us the salary there for ID number 103. Okay, so what if we change the ID number here? Okay, let's say I put 101. what will it give me here as the salary? Okay, what it will give me is, if I do enter, it will give me what? 5,000. So it is that dynamic. So in simple terms, that's what a VLOOKUP function is. It will look up for a value in a column, and when you find the value, it will search in the column, in the subsequent columns, in the same row, the value what you want. So one thing is that the lookup value should be in the left, and the values you want, or the columns you need, will be in the what? In the right hand side. Okay, so that's the only drawback. Okay, you have to search for values in the what? You have to search from left to right. So that's the only drawback with the VLOOKUP function. All right, so let's give I have this data. We have employees, and then we have performance. So what do I want to do here? For these employees, I want to find their what? I want to find their performance, or their scores. Okay, I want to find their scores. So you find that this data, employees and performance, what is common between these two data sets is what? Is the employee ID. Okay, so here we have employee ID, and also here we have what? Employee ID. So I want to get the scores from this table here. Okay, I want to find the performance scores from this table here. So what do I do? Okay, first of all, I like converting my data into what? Into a table. So I'll convert this into a table. Control T. Okay, so that's my table. Let me just clear. Okay, then I also convert this into a table. Yes, my table has headers. Clear. All right, so what do I want to do here? What I want to do is I want to search this employee ID in this data set. When I get the employee ID, it should give me that the performance. Okay, so let's do it quickly. I'll just do equals VLOOKUP. Lookup value will be employee ID, comma. Then table array. Table array is the whole of this table. I've taken the whole of this table, comma. The column index. The column index is 1, 2. Where is my column? The performance is in the column number 2. So start from the left. 1, 2. So my column index is what? Is 2. And just do what? Enter there. Okay. So you find that when you get NA, it means that the performance, the employee ID is not there. Okay. So NA means not found. But if you go down there, you find that you find the scores for the what? For the various employee IDs there. Okay. Others are 61, others are 70, up to the end down there. Okay, so this is how simple the VLOOKUP function is. Okay, so for instance, if you also want to get rid of this NA, you can just add the error function. You say if NA, okay, if NA value, if it's NA, you just give it 0, close brackets, like that. So wherever there is an error, it will give you what? It will give you a 0. So this is how I end my presentation or my video on the VLOOKUP function. Please remember to subscribe to this channel and like my video. Thank you.